Hey folks, Humble Pundit, part 3 of the Goblin 380 buddy build. Let's check it out. So I'm not that good of a cameraman yet to record how I kind of took all this apart and redid it. The instructions that Goblin provides are really good like that, but I did have to completely remove the screws in here and take out the feathering shaft, mostly because these arms that connect to the swash plate were very loose, and the way to tighten them was from the inside. The screw actually goes in through here on the other side of the arm, and the problem with that is the way that they put it together at the factory, it was loaded with grease. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, but the problem is that grease and Loctite don't mix very well. So what you really have to do is take the screws out, and I actually soaked them in alcohol and basically really cleaned both the screws for the arms here and also the screws that went into the feathering shaft. The feathering shaft was full of grease on the inside too, so there was grease on the threads of the screws that holds the feathering shaft together and inside the feathering shaft. So what I did was I took everything apart. I made sure that the bearings and all the washers were in the right place, but then I also, not only did I soak the screws in the alcohol and clean them off, wipe them down with an alcohol soaked paper towel, but I also soaked a paper towel and actually ran it through the feathering shaft to really clean up all the grease that was in the threads of the feathering shaft. Now this part of the helicopter is probably one of the most important parts of the helicopter as the blades spin, because if that screw comes out of the feathering shaft, this whole unit's going to basically fly apart. And I've actually had that happen, so it's not great fun because good luck finding those parts, but also it's very dangerous. The blades are obviously spinning really fast, and if they fly apart can hurt somebody. So you really want to be careful about putting all of this together. Again, you know, I don't really trust any factory settings, so I just basically took the whole thing apart, and like I said, I basically re-greased everything, put everything together, and then I attached all the ball ends. I think I did this on the last video, but the ball ends up here also had to be attached and tightened, and then I attached everything to the swash plate and basically just kind of move it around to see that it moves more or less freely. You also have to put grease on the main shaft just to kind of get it to slide. But other than that, it was pretty smooth once I kind of got through all this. Actually, I made a mistake because I had already put the feathering shaft back together with the screws and then realized that these arms were loose. I basically had to redo the whole thing. One thing too is I have a much better little workshop. I moved everything to my basement, so the light's a lot better and I can really focus on what I'm doing a little bit better. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like. If you subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. And I'll see you again next time.